Welcome back to Nikki Does. Starting with a bit of humor. The joke goes, how do you know if somebody's a pilot? And the answer is, wait a moment and they'll tell you. I'm sure that joke works equally well for doctors and all sorts of people, professions where it's a little bit tough to get into. It's not quite the same as, say, driving or walking down the street, but I happen to be a pilot. I'm also a huge fan of the Zulu headsets. I know the Bose are quite popular, and I know they have a name and a following, but I've been flying with Lightspeed Zulu headsets for quite a long time, and they are a small company based up in, I think, Oswego, something or other, Oregon, and they are so responsive and so cool and so kind, and I've had, I don't know, probably 8 sets of headsets from them. I had 6 when I had a 6-seater, and now I'm down to 2 because I don't have a 6-seater airplane anymore. So this one I just bought on eBay for a super cheap price. It's a helicopter plug, a U-174 plug, but don't let that scare you, because for like, I don't know, $15 on AliExpress, you can get this adapter. If you really want to, you can send your Zulus back to Lightspeed and they will change the cord set and do a whole bunch of other really great stuff for, it's not free, but it certainly is a lot cheaper than a headset. So we're going to run this for a while, at least on this set, and see how it goes. This is a passenger set, so not used as often as pilot's set. But I'm sure there are lots of reviews out there for these things. I love them. They've thought of everything. I mean, even down to this blinky light that at night would just drive you crazy, but you double press and it goes really dim. So it's like they really did think of everything on this. Super cool headset, super well made. Used to be all grippy, like a soft touch, and that would peel off right away. So they got rid of that apparently and went to this. So my first sets had grippy finish on them. I think they have a 10-year warranty or 5-year warranty. I mean, something pretty big. So these, though, came from a flight school, and if you look, the ear cup, or whatever you call this whole assembly, the yoke part is really loose on there, right? And I wondered, how could that be made so it's that bad? I know they got a lot of use. There was obviously a sticker here. There's some corrosion. I'm guessing this is a Florida flight school. There's some corrosion here for where that touches. I can see a little corrosion in the gap right here. Just need generally some cleaning and polishing up a bit, but they'll work. I mean, that's what I care about. They certainly have been used, and it looks like maybe even in some gritty area, because there's wear here that I wouldn't expect. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to show how to fix that looseness right here. So I already did this one, and we're just going to jump right ahead and show it disassembled. There are 2 screws here on each side of of this yoke bit, and those 2 screws clamp this protrusion in. Then there is this thing, this clip that goes in the back here that locks that on. So you can see I've just pulled that out. So we'll do the other side and we'll take that apart kind of step by step here. So I've already pulled these 2 screws out. So let's lift this one out. Let's take these 2 screws out also. Help if you could see in there, right? Number 1 Phillips seems to be the one. The screws are even kind of either corroded or rusty or something. I don't know what the difference would be. Rust, I suppose, is a iron corrosion. It's like a specific version of corrosion. So let's take these little dudes out. And like I said, they're kind of nasty. See if we can focus on that. So we'll clean those up a little bit and see what we can do with them. Yeah, kind of nasty. Could be better. So now we should have, let's get another screwdriver out here to pick this off. Just a little decorative plate, and that also holds that retaining clip I had just shown. So here's the retaining clip. And this is also what limits its rotation. That tang right there limits the rotation of the ear cup around. So Be careful if you do this, because now the wire, which is here, is going to be tight. So let's see if we can free up that wire a little bit so it's not quite so tight. The answer is kind of no to that. Yeah, so I don't think we want to do that. And I don't want to go any further taking this apart. So now we also have to lift off this cover right up here. And what we're going to find, we take off both sides of that, and what we're going to find is that these screws here, one second, I just don't want to break this wire off. All right, zoom you out a bit. These two screws on this outside are loose. So that screw right there is loose. I'm going back and forth with it, and it's like 3 turns out. So I just gave it a nice cinching down, and this one also is going to be like fallout loose, like 10 turns to bring it in. And I'm going to give that a little bit of a cinching down. And really now I could put this together, but I want to clean this, so we'll just throw this together loosely, and we'll demonstrate that now it is no longer loose. I guess I didn't have to take out the bottom 2 screws really, but they're corroded, so I wanted to do that anyway. But now if I put this in here, that's kind of a trick. Maybe I have it upside down. Does the tang faces up? So this tang bit here faces up. I keep looking at the actual thing and not at what you see, so I apologize for that. Let's see if we can do that better. All right. So it looks like, am I incorrect on that? Tang does face down, right? No, it can't. It has to go up. I should have looked more closely as I was taking it apart. This is a job for some tweezers. Those are some really abused tweezers. Let's try another set. This is the time when you blame it on your kids. The tang must face down, or I've got the wrong one. There might be a left and a right tang thing. Is there? I'm looking over here to see if they're the same or not. There is definitely a different side for each. And are they marked? Yep, that says right. So this, I believe, is the microphone. I think always goes to your left. On the left side. So this should be the right. I think that's true. I think the mic always goes in your left side. So let's try it. Let's see if this is the right. And that both has to lock it down and keep it from rotating too much. Boy, I just don't recall, but it should really go the other direction. Should be embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed. All right, let's see here. That feels like it's got to go on top, yeah. All right. So we'll push that in there. And that was, in fact, that was the side without the microphone, and that was the right side. So, yeah, I really do want to clean this up, but I'm also wanting you to see how this works when it's cinched up properly. So here are the screws. for that. And these screws are important because they are also, oh, I've got that in the way again. These screws are important because they're also the ones that, they don't just hold this cover on, they also hold that yoke together. I don't know how these YouTubers do it when they do precise work like this looking at the camera. I give them huge credit. I'm looking at the actual physical thing right now. And that feels like it's too small of a screwdriver, but I tried a number 1 and it didn't work. Number 1 didn't work. This is a number 0. It feels like it's a little loose. Let's try a number 1 again. Let's just get another number 1 out here. You know, that is a number 1. So we should be using a number 1 screwdriver in there. Okay. So that's that. And it's not super tight, but it certainly isn't as loose as it was before. I imagine that bracket is a little bit worn, but that's normal. That's reasonable, I should say. So now we just have to do the same over here on this one. I've already tightened up. The side screws on it, which I suppose we can give it a little more torquey torque with a... See, that's not a number 2, that's a number 1. I'm sorry, that's not a number 1, that's a number 0 right there. So I've already torqued that one in. So now it's going to be a matter of putting this clip in. Here like that. And then I didn't bring the screws and everything are elsewhere. So you can see the wire going up through here, and I would imagine that could be a failure point right here where these wires wobble on this axis, and then also I've long thought that potentially where they wobble in and out, where the ear cup goes up and down on that axis, that could be a failure point too. But I'm not really going to dig into that. I noticed this foam is kind of coming out a little bit. I wonder if that's... so I see the screws there. I've never had these apart, so let's just go ahead and take a peek in here too. Because if these back ends of these ear cups, and they're magnesium, if I remember right, they're something, they're metal, die cast. So we've got 4 screws to get out for that. And this is definitely a machine screw thread that I'm taking out here, whereas that other thread was into the plastic. Yeah, I've been at a few events where the management of Lightspeed has shown up. Small events like the Beechcraft Pilots, BPPP, I think, the American Bonanza Society. That was it. So I suspect this is going to come apart pretty clearly at this point. Yeah. And the question will be how much of this is soldered together. Oh, look, there's some trim in here. How much of this is soldered together, and it's not, so that's kind of cool. So I should be able to take out this plug here. And that goes to the boom microphone. I don't know if I'm going to get that out without taking the board off. I did. And then this other one goes way over here, and that's the that goes over to the other earpiece. The other side. Again, I don't know if I'm going to get that off. I did. Okay. So that leaves that. Yeah, this is the other microphone. Is that anything at all? What is that? No, it's not. It's really not anything at all, is it? It's like a pressure relieving thing or something. Because there's no microphone inside there. I'd always thought these were some kind of a... I thought these were the ambient microphone, the noise thing, but they're not. They're just really this... They're highly designed. And they have a screen down in here and 2 passageways. Like they have to go through this... the air and stuff goes from outside through this mesh thing and back to the inside. I mean, it's definitely highly designed. This is a nylon, glass reinforced nylon, and this is rubber, so definitely quite intense. But there is no microphone on there. I would think there's a microphone somewhere in here or somewhere in there, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. We'll see if I have a proper Torx for that handy. That's too big. Yeah, we'll get the, we'll try one more time here. Bear with me for a moment. Still too large. And get that one, which I would presume is the correct size. Oh, there's an O-ring in there. I didn't see that. Is that also too large? That is. I don't think I have this one around here right now. Do I? Yeah, maybe I do. There we go. Success. This is pretty cool. I certainly had always been not interested in taking these apart because, well, they're expensive. This one looks like it was built in 2011. It's got date code here of, well, the board was February 21st of 2011. So there's the connection for this ear cup. We already talked about, there's the main wire coming in. And I suppose we'll just do a little, just in case here, we'll do a little red dot on those two so we know where they go. There's the board, and this doesn't seem to have any kind of microcontroller in it. So we've got a gain trim up here and just a trim on this one. These are the 2 pots on there. And there's quite a few test points on here. So the circuit board design was a big deal. Auto off, COM, VCC output, mic bias, mic, analog ground, another ground, FBI, which I'm going to presume is feedback, maybe in, I don't know. And you've got here this microphone. Let's see what happens when we take the speaker out, because we've got, what, 4 or 5 wires in here. And the serial, some sort of serial number is also in here. There's a serial number under the head pad, but I think there's probably another matching serial number under here, which would make sense because I certainly wouldn't want to be subject to nonsense going on. All right, so here there's some sealant in this frame here, but not too bad. This looks all sealed, so I'm really not going to try to take that speaker out. There is a microphone, this smaller set of wires. solders to a 3-wire device in there. And that's underneath the foam, which I also don't want to take out. So right in here, there's some kind of ambient sensor going on. This one says 1914088. Let's take a look underneath the head pad. They are different. So that is not the serial number, but I presume in their ERP system, those two match up. Yeah, so this is basically what's in a Lightspeed Zulu headset. I hope you found this interesting. I hope it helps you at some point. And as always, thanks for watching.